Hi guys, this is Cosmopolitan Talks. I'm Vanya and I'm from Serbia.
Hi guys, I'm Olivia and I'm from India.
Since peace building has been a trending topic in media for a while now, and when we say for a while, we actually mean for a while, we mean months, and it's all due to this coronavirus pandemic. We decided to compare what has been happening in my country and in Olivia's country.
Yes, and that's why we thought of interviewing young people from our countries. We wanted to compare their opinions and possibly make a conclusion. But we saw that they are very different, and that's not easy to sum up probably everything in just one sentence.
Yeah, that's true. But what we saw as a pattern is that all of them mentioned media influence.
Coronavirus pandemic is definitely a threat to the world peace and security. In the very beginning, it increased social unrest, and of course, one of the most important things is that it has economic impacts, and that always affects everyone's peace in general. When you hear every day about a large number of infected people and an increasing number of deaths, you are very scared, of course, but people here in Serbia were even more frightened because the authorities wanted so, and the media were, of course, the leaders in creating that unrest. Media scene in this country is bad anyway, let alone during a crisis like coronavirus. There were a lot of fake news, and even the ones that were true were mostly presented in a bad way.
We struggle to balance the sustainability of the environment and the pandemic. Just to give you a perspective, I came across this news article in Times of India where the Central Pollution Control Board banned the use of POP, that is plaster of Paris, in making idols for Ganeshotsav. Now, artisans say that the order will aggravate unemployment amid this phase of coronavirus lockdown. Eco-friendly idols can only be made up to 4 feet and not larger than that. Lakhs of artisans depend on this festival. And they are not wrong on their part, as there is a pressing need for employment at this time. But at the same time, the environment is endangered.
Okay, so we could hear that in India, besides coronavirus threats, there are like ecology threats, if we could say that. From my perspective in Serbia, ecology topics don't even get as much attention in media, and I believe that's a bad thing. Like we all know that our cities are on that notorious list that shows us how air polluted the air is in cities, and we're not proud of that, and as a nation we should work on it. But I don't think that topic has enough of media attention, let's say.
That's very true, especially the air pollution in my country is almost skyrocketing. So, on
Yeah.
one side, this pandemic coronavirus may be a good thing, if you ask me, as a priority right now. But that honestly doesn't mean we should forget about other problems.
Well, that's true, but I'm not even sure that we can actually see our problems right now. We will be able to see them when corona pandemic is over, because I believe like they pop up every day in many aspects. I don't know what is the situation there, but here people are losing their jobs like on daily basis.
So, in my country, there are a lot of daily wage workers. So, it's been a really, really rough time for those kind of people. And of course, many people have or will lose their jobs due to economical problems. That will happen when everything is, let's say, back to normal.
That's true. That's true. Well, we can see that it's definitely not only in your country, not in mine or my friends. It's all around the world.
Right.
Peace between people, communities, and societies all depend on a mutual respect and understanding of one another. The reason this pandemic has had such a detrimental change in our life is due to globalization. Up until the arrival of this virus, it was a boon. However, now it's the reason we are all suffering. Had globalization not existed, the whole world wouldn't be in its current state. Globalization brought about peace, or at least tries to. Now, with globalization brought to a halt, in my opinion, it becomes increasingly difficult to build peace as the core concepts of achieving peace are hindered. A ray of sunshine, however, could be the internet. The same way we have virtualized everything in our life, maybe the virtualization of globalization is next.
What is peace building? What is peace for you on your personal level?
Okay, so peace, in my opinion, is a state of mind that is free from evil thoughts and disturbances. Basically, a state of being free. Peaceful thoughts are really important to keep the mind calm. I would also like to define that peace building is not just about negative peace, which is the absence of violence, but the way
Right.
we deal to resolve with conflicts that may
Mhm.
be through dialogue, consent, or negotiations rather than just force. What about you, Vanya? What do you think peace and peace building is to you?
Well, I agree with you, and I agree with everything that we heard from other people. But I would just like to add that for me, peace is at some point equal to happiness. Like
Right.
whatever you are doing. Oh, okay, we're not in the studio. We're like due to globalization, we're too far from each other, so there is a noise coming. Um, so as I was saying, peace for me is equal to happiness, and if you like what you're doing, if you like how you're looking, like even that's a basic thing, like a stupid thing, but if you're satisfied with yourself on those levels, you shine differently and people can notice that, and maybe you inspire someone by that, who knows. But that's true, like there is peace that I can define, like on myself, piece of myself, how to say it. But there is also that global thing that's definitely connected to wars, to catastrophes, and that's something that can't be summed up in one sentence or even like millions of sentences. It's a really complex topic.
I completely understand and agree to everything you're saying because I feel when we understand and when we are happy with our thoughts happening in our brains, we can automatically find ways of building peace. And
True.
probably everywhere in our environment, in our societies. I think it just starts from within us first.
If there is one thing pandemic has taught us and showed us, it is that no matter how big the world is, it's really small. I'm Tamara and I'd like to remind you that as much as COVID seems to be frightening, we shouldn't stop building peace among all of us.